Hello and welcome to the installation guide for the Senior Project website version 6. In this video, I will show you how to set up your local and remote development environment, deploy and manage the site on a server, set up the REST API, and change settings on the API accounts. Before you begin, you must first install XAMPP 3.2.1, GitHub for your designated operating system, MySQL Workbench 6.1 CE or higher, and an SSH client like PuTTY or WinSCP. Also, make sure to install NetBeans IDE with Java Web and EE plugin. To set up your local and remote environments, you will first need to join an organization the head professor has set up on the senior project class on GitHub. Once joined, you will need the client application GitHub for your working operating system. Run the GitHub application and log in with your GitHub account. If there is an existing repository set up for you, simply clone it by clicking on the plus button. Locate your repository, then click on Clone. Then, place the clone repository on the folder XAMPP htdocs. By default, it is located in your OS drive, but it may be in a different location depending where you placed the root folder for XAMPP. Make sure the repository you clone is the latest version of the Senior Project website. Otherwise, you will need to move all the content from the previous version into the repository folder, then commit changes. Before you continue, you will need to switch to a new branch to submit changes to the repository and create a linked directory to your work folder. To create a linked directory, open a command line window, then navigate to the htdocs folder. Make sure you're running the command line as administrator. Then input the following: mklink /D, the name link directory, which is Senior Project, then the directory where your work folder is located in code/website. You can now use this folder to run your local repository. To switch to the develop branch, open the listed repository on Git shell. Once open, type git checkout develop to switch to the develop branch. You will be pushing all development updates to this branch for every feature you finish. Once you're done, locate the database must be customized.php file located in Applications config. Make a copy of the file and rename that copy to database.php. Now, open the GitHub client application and open the listed repository on Git shell. You are now going to push the current development branch. On the command window, type git push to push the updated database to develop. This will allow you to run the development version of the website. Then, create a separate branch by typing git checkout-b and the name of the branch, which is generally your user story to the current feature you will be working. After that, open the database.php file. Scroll down and change the default username to root, and change the default password to blank. This will allow you to run the local version of the website. Locate the .gitignore file located in the root of your work folder and add the database.php file as well as the config.php files. This will prevent committing the changes of the database configuration to the development server as it is set up for your local server. Your local repository is now ready for deployment. To import the database, run XAMPP control panel. Then start Apache and MySQL. Then click on Admin button next to MySQL. Your web browser should open phpMyAdmin. Create a new table by clicking on New and call it Senior Project Website. Then click on it, then click on Import tab to import the database from Senior Project Website version 6 located in Code Database. Remember to extract contents from the zip file first. Make sure you're running Apache on ports 80 and 443, while MySQL runs on port 3306. Your local repository is now set and you can access your local site through the URL localhost / the name of the website work folder, which for this case should be the link directory we created named Senior Project. To deploy the site, run PuTTY and connect to your server. On the host name, type spws-dev.cis.fiu.edu for the development. Log in using your SCIS account. Remember to ask the professor to grant your account with root permissions. Once you're logged in, navigate to bar/www/html. Once there, use git clone to clone your GitHub repository. Copy the URL of your GitHub repository and paste it on your git clone command. Once you have cloned your repository, modify index.html file to point to your newly created folder. Your development site should now be viewable through spws-dev.cis.fiu.edu URL. To access the database in Server, open MySQL Workbench and add a new connection. Set the connection name to spws-dev, connection method to standard TPC/IP over SSH, SSH hostname to spws-dev.cis.fiu.edu, SSH user to your account name, SSH password to account password, MySQL hostname to 127.0.0.1, MySQL server port to 3306, username to spw_rw, and password to 123 capital FIU lowercase spw. Deploying REST API using NetBeans IDE 7.3. Open the REST API project with NetBeans IDE. Note that Java Web and EE plugin is required. Build the project, then copy WAR file spw2-register API located in directory spw2-register API dist to the web app folder in the server var lib tomcat6 web apps. Once you have uploaded the WAR file to web apps folder, use jar-xpf spw2-register API.war to extract contents of the file and place them in var lib tomcat6 web apps spw2 register API folder. Changing property file path, which is the path of the list used by REST API. In situations where it is necessary to use a list different than the currently set, follow these instructions to change the path settings in your REST API. Connect to the server and navigate to var lib tomcat6 web apps spw2 register API webin classes org senior project properties FIU edu. edit the file config.properties. In the first line, modify the file path, where this path name is the path of the new list that you want to use. Navigate back to var lib Tomcat 6 web apps spw2-register API folder and create a WAR file using jar-cbf spw2-register API.war space star. Use the newly created WAR file to replace the existing WAR file in var lib Tomcat 6 web apps folder. Turning off schedule updates for students in senior project website database. Open spw register servlet.java file located in webin classes org senior project FIU edu. Lines from 25 through 37 contain the code for scheduled updates. Comment them out. Clean and build the project, then copy WAR file spw2-register API located in directory spw2-register API dist to the web apps folder on the server var lib Tomcat 6 web apps. Once you have uploaded the WAR file to web apps folder, use jar-xbf spw2-register API.war to extract contents of the file and place them in var lib Tomcat 6 web apps spw2 register API folder. Changing redirect URI for Google API account. If for any reason the main site URL changes, please follow these instructions to update the links in the Google API page. Navigate to https console.developers.google.com and log in using provided credentials. Username spwfiu@gmail.com. Password Senior Project FIU. Select API Project, navigate to API and Auth Credentials, and click on Edit Settings. Add or change redirect URI and confirm with Update button. If this is not done, the FIU Google login won't work. Changing redirect URL for LinkedIn API account. Navigate to https developer.linkedin.com. Click on My Apps, then log in using provided credentials. Username fiuspws@gmail.com. Password B+27EPHA. Select Senior Project website and enter new redirect URL. End of installation guide. Thank you.